The second biggest spread of the year for the Thursday nighter, 8:15
Yeah.
p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Eagles 7-0, 3-0 on the road at the Houston Texans, 1-5-1, 0-2-1 at home. We're at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Pinnacle opened this up at 13 and moved to 13 and a half. Now it is at 14. From a totals perspective, it opened up at 43. We're all the way up to 45 right now. 45. Let's move over to the cash flow here. We have 12,332 tickets in, 84% of the tickets, 89% of the cash on the Eagles. 25% of the tickets, 71% cash on the under, but we see this moving towards the over, market moving it up to 45. And I will, Dan Kelly, I promise you, I will definitely check that out. Being a stressful little while here, but I will definitely get a chance to look at that. I did not move on the Eagles first half -6. I had planned to do it. I just was afraid to go up against the Sharps on the Steelers. Maybe I should have no fear here because the Sharps certainly are not on the Texans. 13 points on the road these Eagles are laying. Coming off another dominant win, 35-13 at home over the Steelers. 7-0 for just the second time in franchise history. Last time was 2004 when they went to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, 19-28 for 285 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. All 4 touchdown passes were 25-plus yards. The only player with more than 4 touchdown passes of 25-plus yards in a single game since 1980 is Dan Marino, 1994. A.J. Brown with a monster. 6 catches, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns, all came in the first half. He's the first receiver since Drew Bennett in 2004 with 3 receiving touchdowns at 25-plus yards in the first half. He only had 2 touchdowns entering the game. Miles Sanders, 9 carries for 78 yards. Philly is the best first-half team in the league. They're averaging 21 points per first half. Their first half DVOA is the best in the NFC. They run the second fastest pace per play in the first half, 26.05 seconds. They've struggled a little bit in the second half. Not struggled. I mean, this is a perfect football team at this point. But 49 points in second halves compared to 147 in the first. That DVOA goes down to 13th in the second half. Their defense was excellent last week. 6 sacks, 11 quarterback hits. Gardner Johnson had an interception. The Eagles are a healthy group. Defensive tackle Jordan Davis suffered an ankle injury, but this is a healthy group. Texans come in off a 17-10 home loss to Tennessee. The Texans have the worst run defense in the league, and they could do nothing against the Titans. Titans put up 314 yards on the ground. Derrick Henry, 32 carries for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. Davis Mills has been pressured on 26.4% of his dropbacks. That's the 6th highest pressure rate for quarterbacks. He finished 17-29 for 152 yards, touchdown, and an interception. Brandon Cooks caught 4 passes for 73 yards. Damian Pierce ran 15 times for 35 yards. The offense had just 161 total yards, and we're 2 of 14 on third down. 2 of 14. 3 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. This run defense is allowing 6.3 yards per carry over the last 3 games. That's last in run defense DVOA. This team is bad, and the market moving towards the Eagles. Are you also going to be on the Eagles? What is your plan of attack here, Andy?
I've just never been in the business of laying the big favorites. Even in a game where you saw Green Bay do practically nothing, they covered because teams don't give a rat's patoot about winning by margin. They just want to win, especially teams, and maybe the Philadelphia Eagles are in a different spot. We do the NBA comparison all the time where it's like, hey, the Warriors, the Bucks, some of these teams that have been to the finals over and over, have some championships. They don't take the regular season seriously. You start to see that a little in the NFL with like even the Chiefs, where it's like, all right, they just want to get to the playoffs and get moving. The regular season, they're not going to take some of these games too seriously. I mean, they still take them seriously, but they're not out there putting their whole game plan on film. They want to just get through the season healthy and get to the playoffs. Eagles haven't had that sort of success, at least not with this iteration. It's been a while since that Super Bowl win. This is a totally different team, different coaching staff. So maybe they still have a little that killer instinct on these regular season games. But boy, howdy. Like their second half, they have just taken the foot off the gas in the second half, like you said, scoring about a third of the point. So if you're gonna bet this, I guess first half team total over, first half over. I'm staying clear away from this. I'm going to look for some first touchdown scores, and a lot of them are going to be Philadelphia Eagles, to tell you the truth, because this is a really big mismatch. Even in that game, that they scored 10 points, but did the Texans really score 10 points? They essentially scored 3. That was a garbage touchdown. That was a almost near meaningless touchdown at the end. The Titans playing with a backup quarterback who, I mean, he threw for like 55 yards and still they couldn't muster anything towards, even being competitive at home. This might be best team, worst team. It's still a lot of points. I'm not interested in laying this many points just based on how the Eagles have played in the second half. But if you want me to bet money on the Houston Texans, you're going to have to give me money. And you'll have to hand me the money and say you can only have this if you're betting it on the Texans. So this is a hard no thanks, props live, have some fun with the game. And I don't know, cheer for your Sirianni Coach of the Year tickets, cheer for your Jalen Hurts Offensive Player of the Year tickets, whatever you bet Philadelphia Eagles. I have some Philly best record and Philly top seed, just some small ticklers from preseason. So hopefully they just keep winning. Yeah, Eagles money line, Jimmy. Should we just get weird with it? Cliff they call that bridge jumping. You just put your whole account on Eagles money line. Don't do that.
Birdie is on the first half over 21. Nice job getting the 21 up to 22.5 at most spots. Sky Dragon says, why are people betting the over? Have they seen this Houston offense? It's pathetic.
It's bad. And this is and the Titans pass rush has come around, but the Eagles defense is better. Like the Houston may not score in the first, that would be the both teams to score no first half. It feels like that first half over. You're going to need the Houston Texans to stumble their way into a turnover on the right side of the field and kick a field goal. 21-3 sounds like a pretty common first half score. So maybe some Eagles first half, but
I don't know.
Don't get weird with it.
I do not know how to make money off of this game at this point. I do not find the Eagles appealing as this big of a favorite on the road. It's just not something that I would like to be a part of, but I imagine that they'll cover it. And I imagine that the people who got in at 13 feel good that it's gone to 14. And how many points are we going to get from the Texans? And do the Eagles care? Are they going to care in the second half? I think that this under would be. Now, I'm not going to move on the under when I see it going from 43.5 to 45, but it is my first inclination would be to take. Maybe it's a live under like we did in the Packers-Bills game.
Yeah. I can see that live under, second half under, but for now, this is a no move. No move is the move.
Yeah, I agree. That is the Thursday nighter. I apologize that we don't have action here, but 13-point spread on a road team, second biggest spread of the year, is not very appealing.